Okay, so I have here a new toy that I've been playing with, which is Repel IT's live Python compiler. So, nope, you don't need to sign up. Oh god, it's not typing though. Yeah, you have to sign up if you want to save it. So, if I want to just double check that this thing's working the way I think it does, type some Python code into the left-hand side, hit run. Right-hand side demonstrates the exact output you would get if you wrote this, saved it as a py file, and then ran it in your command prompt window, right? So I'm going to code my Sieve of Eratosthenes here, right? So first things first, I need to make a limit. Limit equals
1,000?
Sure, like whatever your kind of reasonable size for prime numbers is. I'm going to start with 10 just so I don't have to wait, right? Okay, so I got my limit declared. Now I need a way to make an array. Oh, Python doesn't actually have arrays. What's like an array in Python? Yeah, it's a list in Python. So I want to make a list of, I'm going to call it numbers. That part I know. And then I want to make it booleans, right? So we could do this where we do like boolean, oops, helps if you spell true right, true. Oh yeah, and I know that I could put in false for the first two. This is hella annoying, right? Because I don't want to type true 10 times. So cool trick. If you take if you want to just fill an array, you can literally just type the one array element true and then multiply by the number of times you want to see it. Oh, and in good coding practice, instead of putting a 10 there, I should put limit. Okay. Let me just check that worked. How do I check that worked? I want to I want to print, and I could loop through it, or I think Python will let me just do print numbers. Let's try it. Cool. Are there 10 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so that's the last one is indexed with 9, right? You see that? So maybe if I was really doing a good job here, I'd do like times the limit plus 1. So that I'd actually get to that 10th and last spot. Just in case somebody gave me just in case I put in a prime number as the limit. It should print that last one, I think. Okay, so now I don't need that thing right now.
Numbers next one equals false. Numbers next two equals false.
Oh, yeah, I want to make the first two false, right? So numbers, which one did you just say?
Index 0 and 1.
Yeah, number 0 is false, and numbers 1 is false.
Cool thing. You can go over to the black screen and type into that, like print code into that, and it'll do it right there.
Yeah, and you can type Python code over here too, and that'll, oops, gotta actually do this. So that's what's actually open there is not a command prompt, it's Python itself. So you can just type Python code in there, which is actually a convenient thing if you want to like do some calculator, right? Like if you don't want to go Google, or if you want to do harder math, that's a nice spot to kind of have a little calculator. Okay, so I got my first two declared false, and then I need to loop through the numbers array with an I. Right? So how do you loop through a numbers array with an I? Yeah, you need a for, right? For I in range, nice, of limits. Nice. Let's double check what that's actually doing. So I probably want to just print the i's. Run. Annoyed. Why is it annoyed?
Syntax.
Syntax error. Crap. What's my syntax error? Anybody remember? To get a for loop to go in Python, you need a... In processing, it'd be a curly brace.
For the stop, right?
Nope, not a stop. Colon. Yep. Remember, loops and if statements in Python need a colon and then an indented block afterwards to execute. So we hit run, and we get... Oh, okay, so it only went up to 9. Maybe I should just dork this. So I'm just going to make 10 things, right? So I don't have mismatches. So now for each thing in my array, I'm actually... Yeah, I have the right number of things and the right range here. You guys cool with that? I removed the +1 here so that it'd be the right size, because otherwise I'd have to go put a limit +1 in here, and then my pseudocode would look kind of funny.
Can you just do it once and change the...
Yeah, so certainly you could make this kind of comment in your code. You could be like, prints primes up to limit -1. Right, just to like note, if you want to get all the primes to 10, you need to put in 11 in for the limit.
Or can you just do limit +1?
Yeah, or we could do limit +1 here and limit +1 here, and we could, yeah, we could just redeclare limit equals limit +1. Yeah, that would be kind of a hacky thing to do, but yeah.
Could we just change the machine code?
Yes, we could just change the machine code, which is exactly what I'm doing. 5. What about 5? All right, so let's see. What did I actually want to do in there? I want to loop through the numbers with an I. Okay, so I've got the looping through numbers with an I. And then inside of looping through numbers with an I, what do I want to do?
We're going to loop through J, so we're going to say for J in range.
Oop, I think I missed one thing.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You want to skip the ones that are false, right? So you want to do if numbers I, and this is a little funky, right? Because I really kind of want equals true in here. But it's an if statement, right? So really I should probably have 2 equals to get a logic check, right? Not accidentally defining it to be true.
Can't you just do if numbers I?
Yeah, and really the right syntax is numbers I is a Boolean, right? So the best use is to just be like, well, if that's true, let's do this, right? That's one good reason that you probably, that this Boolean array was actually a really good idea, because I can like utilize it a little bit. It's like a little slick. Yeah, so it'll only execute the code in the indent. Now it's really annoyed at me. See this? Expected an indented block. Because, dummy, you got to indent after your if statements. And yeah, that's a thing that's only true in Python, right? Or at least in the languages we know, that indenting is important only in Python. But it's probably good practice in other languages to keep everything indented and clean. Okay, so if the numbers I thing is true, then we'll print I, and then what? Yeah, we got to go cross off the multiples of that thing, right? So I need a loop through with j's. So that's a 4 j in range. Oh yeah, so this gets weird. I might have to look up the range command.
No. Yeah, 2 comma.
2 comma. So 2's the starting spot, right? And then I want it to go up to where? Where do I want the? I want I times j to be smaller than the limit, right? So I want the j's to go up to. This is where an algebra prereq would be a really good idea.
4.5. Limit over I.
Yes! Limit divided by I. Remember, I wanted it, like, I want this to happen, right? Like, so if I'm doing good commenting, my comment here would be loop through for j from 2 up to I times j is less than or equal to limit, right? And then I algebraically rearranged the statement I times j is less than or equal to the limit and said, aha, I should go till j is the limit over I.
This might be a question later on for office hours, because maybe I'm the only one not fully grasping this. But remember in my project, I had a hard time saying I and j in the same array, like kind of being in the same spot. I'm still having a hard time saying, like, as we move through j, why is it in the same place as I? Like, why is that sort of
Okay, so
equal? Why are those equal?
they're not equal.
And that's where I'm lost. Like, how do,
Yeah, so the reason they're not equal is when I loop through this outer array, or sorry, this outer for loop, so I is going to be, say, 0, right? And it's going to say, okay, so if numbers in the 0 spot, well, that's false. So we're not going to access this inner loop at all.
Right, that's fine.
When we get to 2, right, that's our first prime.
Right.
So we're going to get if numbers in the second spot, so that's going to be true. Then we're going to print 2 out. And then for I equals 2, we're going to do some stuff with j's. And then j's are going to start at 2 and go up to the limit over 2, which in this case is 5. So we're going to go from 2, 3, 4, 5 through j's. And what we're going to do is we're going to cross off 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, and 2 times 5. You see that? That help at all?
Kind of. We'll go over it more later.
Okay.
What's the divided by lect limit? On
Less
11?
than or equal to.
Oh, sorry. That's a less than or equal to. That's me being latex-y. That really should be this symbol, kind of. Right? But it's just in a comment. It's not doing anything. That was just me writing a little latex code in my head. Yeah, sorry. Let's see. What did I want to do in there?
You wanted to multiply j times I for all the I that we're going to see.
Yep, and I want to set the numbers, right? I want to go through and cross those off, right? So I want to set numbers I times j to false.
Okay.
So should we try it? How do I try it? Oh yeah, I push run, right? Annoyed. Float object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Bummer.
Oh,
Because limit divided by I.
Because limit divided by I is,
A float. So
it's a float, because Python's smart, right? Python took 10 divided by
3.
2. Well, so it only printed 2, right? So I know it was still in the 2 loop when it crashed out. So it took 5 divided by 2 and said, that's 5.0. Smarty pants Python. So we should typecast that to an integer if we can. So we try int to typecast it. And try that.
Hey.
Huzzah! Are those all the primes? Between...
9's not a prime.
Ooh, 9's not a prime. What happened?
2.
Limit over I plus 1.
I think it might have to do with 2.
So I think that came from the 3. So let's think through that. So my thought, right, was that would go from 2 up to this integer. So for 3, my guess is that limit divided by 3 should be 3 1/3, right? And then we int that, so we're going from 2 to 3. So I feel like it probably should have crossed off 9. Does it actually hit this? I think I better go look at the range command. So built-in functions, right? Let's see, range. That is super not helpful. Start, stop, step. Let's see, the step argument for positive steps, for negative steps. Range, yeah, seems like it only goes. So it's only doing 2 there, right? Because it's supposed to go from 2 to 3, but it's not including 3, so it's only doing 2, which is why 9's not getting crossed off. So what do I need to put in there?
You can add 1 to that upper limit to make it hit 3.
Yeah, maybe I should add 1 to this upper limit. Let's see if that'll work.
Worked for me.
Ooh,
Oh, I put it inside the parentheses.
you did
I put the
this.
That's the only thing different I have. I popped it up to 100.
Oh, but yours is up to 100. Yeah. So,
Oh, this is not okay.
I don't know. Okay, so it's whining about index out of range, right? You guys see
I
that?
did 10.
How in the hell is yours different? Did you adjust your limits?
I still have the limit
Yeah.
plus 1 on 3.
Okay. So what's up with this, right? Is it's getting to 1 more, right? It's getting past the end of the array just a little bit sometimes. Which-
12.
Yeah, which is why it's like, yeah, I'm annoyed with this index thing. How can I fix this? So this is like getting hacky, right? Like this thing is not like super convenient for me.
Put the numbers I times j equals false into an if statement.
Yeah, I could maybe just do this. I could be like, okay, we're just gonna go a ways, right? Like this is way too many steps, right? Like up to the limit number of steps is way too many. But whatever, like do some steps, and then we could do if what now? If I times j is less than or equal to, right? I think it just needs to be less than. So, oops, it's gonna yell at me now. Why is it yelling at me? colon and
Then
indent this part. What? Bam. Primes.
yes.
Not working. Why is this Oh, I saw the cast on it.
Okay, so this is probably not super efficient, right? If I wanted better efficiency, I would need to figure out this thing a little better.
You could also start at I squared.
And I also should start at I. Yeah. I'm multiplying by j, or I'm multiplying I times j in here, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's just see if that'll work. Cool. That looks like it spits out the same set of numbers. Cool. And then we can definitely improve on this. I'm not going to because I'm lazy. I do want to spend a second and do some slight improvement, which is I'd like to also print out the twin primes just for kicks. So just for kicks, how do you print out the twin primes?
True.
So if
False. I'm just coding it right now.
yeah, so I need true, false, true, right? You guys see that? I probably don't really even need to test the false in the middle
Oh.
because I'm sure that's there.
If false is greater than true and less than true, so that's not gonna work.
No, that
I
won't.
minus 2 equals true, and I equals true, then print.
So if numbers I minus 2,
It's already true. And
yep, so that's going to be either true or false, right? That's a Boolean. And numbers,
Do you not need the double and?
I just typed in and. Ironically, both work in this case.
I think Python 3 actually will yell at me for this.
No, I'm in Python 3.
With a double and?
Double ampersand? No, I just typed in and.
Yeah, the double and I think will yell at me. But straight plain text and I think will work. And a single ampersand. But we'll try it in a second. So if this, then what?
Print I minus 2 and I.
Okay, and let's get slick with ourselves. So I should print I and I'm, oops. I should probably print them in the right order, right? So I should print I minus 2 and I.
Or twin.
Yeah, and if I wanted kind of some slickness, right, I might do and are twinsies? Twinsies? Let me not talk like a jackass.
It's national.
I know, I'm a jackass, but that's okay. Are twin primes. No. Primes. Okay, and now this is not going to work. See what it's whining about? Using possibly undefined loop variable I.
Because you're not in the I.
Yeah. I'm not in the looping through this thing stage. I'm just like out in the code afterwards, right? So that variable I doesn't even exist out here. Right? So if I want to get it somewhere where the I's exist, where should this go? Yeah, needs to be indented. Which loop do I want it to be in?
Just the first one.
Just the outer loop, right? So I just need to indent once. And this guy,
Inside the if.
yeah, that's inside the if, so that needs to get indented once. Maybe if I do that, it'll look better. Try that.
Hey, look at that.
Cool.
They're not doing anything.
Whoa.
It looks like there are lots, guys. That's fun. Another thing we could do is we could make a fun thing to do in processing, actually, would be to make a nice little histogram of how many primes are in between 0 and 1,000, 1,000 and 2,000, 2,000 and 3,000, 3,000 and 4,000, right? Up to, say, 1,000,000. That would be one of those nifty little bar charts, right? Where you just, like, use a rectangle. Processing would be the language to do that in. Why?
Because it does graphics nice.
Yeah, because it's good for graphics. You guys comprehending what's going on? Questions, things?
I'm not sure where I missed something, but I'm not getting the twin primes.
Is it wrong?
I just hit that.
Oh, it's not in, no, it isn't.
I saw they commented that out, but once I get rid of this, just the normal.
Okay, where's the thing? Dunno. Let me pause this.